All right, Culver Jones coming at you with another episode in the CFBAD series. And this is another reaction to the action that was on Thursday. All right. And we're going to talk about the Minnesota-Nebraska game. And I'll start off by saying this. I'm very impressed with Matt Rhule already. I think that Nebraska actually looked pretty good. This is a very early reaction. Y'all may call it an overreaction, but I did see the physicality, and I think they really made the right choice. Obviously, with him, it's a 3-year turnaround. It's been consistent. He needs to get his guys in to make it a true program. But he did it at Temple and he did it at Baylor. Didn't do it in the NFL, but that's a different story, right? And so I think given the right time and resources in Nebraska, I think he could do great things. Ironically, the conference is going to get way harder, so it will be harder for him to win. And I think, sadly, this is one of the better opportunities for them to win at least the division. We'll see how the conference shapes going forward. But I was very impressed. I think that Nebraska fans should be excited. I know they lost, but they covered the 7.5, and really they should have won that game. But Minnesota's a good team. They're a really good coach team, and they've been having a good defense. So if I'm a Nebraska fan, I'm happy and Nebraska fans are really good. I remember Joel Klatt saying that. Jeez. I remember Joel Klatt saying that in the broadcast, and he said something that's really true. And I think that Nebraska fans are very loyal, and they will stick to you even through the ups and downs and the roller coasters. And it's starting to be where people my age, they really haven't seen Nebraska be good. Bo Pelini had some competitive teams, but other than that, it's not really they weren't really that dominant ever. So I think that Matt Rhule is the guy for the job, and he is the guy for Nebraska. Now let's talk about my boy PJ Fleck. I think he's doing a lot with a little, okay? Other than the tight end forward, not a lot to like on the offense. They're clearly missing Mo Ibrahim. Potts transferred, and the running game did not get started at all. Kalamakis played terrible, okay? Played absolutely awful. And he did put together the final drive, and he got them into position. And then when it looked like they were going to finally get out of field goal range by shooting themselves in the foot, PJ Fleck, and they dialed up that run to get in field goal range, and they won the game, And crazy drive to score that final touchdown. But the defense of Minnesota really didn't yield anything at all. They had that one trick play. They did pick off Sims in the end zone, and they picked him off again. I mean, they were just turnover machines. They played super physical, and it was really awesome Thursday night Big Ten football, 13-10. I love that. I love that about college football, where you see Oklahoma, you see Baker play Mahomes, and it's 70-60, but you also see Iowas and Minnesotas, and nobody can score. It's awesome. The one thing is what the hell was Minnesota doing? Run the ball more. Come on. I don't know what was up with that play selection. They're a running team, okay? And I thought it was very funny that they ran to get into field goal position, with their final timeout. As time was expiring, I was that's such a Big Ten West thing. So awesome. That just brought out the football nerd in me, just seeing that physicality, smash mouth, super sloppy football. Nebraska's touchdown was hilarious. That was off the Osborne pass, Rhule called it. Super awesome. But I think that if you're a fan of both teams, if you're a Minnesota fan, there's a reason I didn't take that spread, and that's not because I don't believe in the program or PJ Fleck. It's because they don't have Tanner Morgan and they don't have Mo. So their backfield is completely new, and their quarterback's completely new, and they don't have any weapons really. So would you have liked for them to score more points if you're a fan? Yes, they got the win. And I mean, right now, Wisconsin has a first year head coach in Fickle. We know what we're going to get from Iowa. Um, we know that Nebraska is going to compete. So I think that Matt Rhule will definitely pull off a couple wins, maybe approach bowl eligibility. So the Big Ten West is open. If you're Minnesota, that win was huge for your chances. Huge. So keep taking care of business. You don't know what's going to happen. However, you're not going to keep winning games playing that style of football, okay? You're just not. You're going to have to figure out a way to get that ground game going and just make things easier on the quarterback, because I don't think he's really capable of putting the game in his hands. Yes, he did do that last drive, but in all honesty, that throw was not on the money, and he got bailed out by an absolutely phenomenal toe drag catch. And there was another instance where he threw the guy out of bounds. So awesome end of the game, super exciting. I'm super glad that we had that kind of football. And if you're a fan of both teams, there's a lot of positivity. I know I've been railing on the Vandies, I've been railing on the Floridas, but you know, I'm psyched to see what Nebraska can do. I think that Matt Rhule will come out with some big games, because you got to think, like, they were a road underdog, and he really gave the chance for his team to win. It looked like they were going to win until Minnesota came out with that drive out of nowhere. And that's on the road, and that's his first game. If he'd won that game, I would say, I would forget all the Minnesota talk, forget all the Florida talk. I'd be talking about Nebraska and Matt Rhule and how awesome of a job he's doing. But he still gave him a chance. He did exactly what he needed to do, and I'm super psyched for the Cornhuskers. Minnesota, did they take a step back on the roster? Yeah, but if you can keep pulling out these games in the Big Ten West, you're absolutely going to have a chance, okay? There's no reason that I think they're going to be worse than Iowa. Iowa's probably the team that I would pick, just because Wisconsin might not have that kind of first-year success. I do have them ranked in my 25, but yeah, anyone can win the West. It's wide open. Purdue seems a little weaker. We'll see how they do against Fresno. But yeah, both fan bases should be really happy. And thank God we had a 13-10 physical smash mouth football. And it looked like it was going to be 10-3. And if you think about it, Nebraska just scored off of that Osborne pass. That was it. So yeah, that was super entertaining football. Can't wait to see more Big Ten West action. And I love it that we have conference games this early. I love it. But anyways, I'll be coming at you with more videos, and we're about to have our first real Saturday. So, yep. Much love, y'all. Peace.